most important asset that we have is not money, but it's actually
Although it looks free, but behind the scene, you need to pay a lot. Not in monetary form, but in terms of your time, energy, and the brain power you need to think.
the best decision that we can make at the point of time with the information that we have. And then we don't want to be regretful for the decisions that we make.
If you don't dare to take the risk, then you do not deserve the reward as well. Every job looks easy when you're not the one who doing it.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Future Builders podcast by Empowered Liion. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Ballerina. We are here to help you turn your passion into a fulfilling career and live the life you desire.
It's possible to make money doing what you truly love, and we are doing this right now.
Yay! Alright, Daniel. Last week we also talked about this book called The Psychology of Money. Am I correct?
Yes, and it is by Morgan Housel. It was written in 2020, and it is one of the best books when it comes to finance.
Wow, that's amazing. So whoever have not listened to the last episode, I strongly encourage you to listen to it because we have talked a lot of important points which you won't want to miss it, definitely.
Yeah, probably I can just start by doing a quick recap of what we talked about last time. So there's this, what I think the most important takeaway that I had when I read this book. It says that the highest form of wealth is the ability to wake up every morning and say, I can do whatever I want today.
This is definitely powerful because you don't need to worry about your money. You just do whatever you want to do. For example, if you want to go travel today, just pack a luggage, book a ticket, and go ahead. And you won't need to worry about anything.
Yes, so it is essential to realize that the most important asset that we have is not money, but it is actually time.
Yes, definitely. And moving on to the second point, we talk about nothing is as good or as bad as it seems. So the moment that we record this podcast is the first day of 2025.
Yeah.
So no matter what happened in 2024, remember that nothing is as good or as bad as it seems because whenever you are having a tough time, you need to know that like it is not permanent. It will go away one day and you'll definitely see a rainbow after rain, right?
Yeah, I definitely agree on that.
And if you are having the highlight of your life right now, don't be too arrogant. Try to be as humble as you can because you won't know, like touch wood, one day later, you might not having this kind of feeling anymore. But just try to prepare yourself to welcome any kind of situation or any kind of challenges that will be coming into your life because it's a chance for you to grow better.
Yeah, so this can lead to the third point that we talked about last time, which is do not be purely optimistic, but be sensibly optimistic. It means that when you are looking forward to something, yes, of course, the outcome in the long term, it may be good, but you do need to realize that there are some pitfalls and challenges along the way because no journey is smooth. There will be ups and downs.
Of course, and for purely optimistic, people will tend to feel like everything will be all right, things will be okay eventually. But why we have to be sensibly optimistic is we don't want to think things as too good. Like along the journey, it will definitely be a lot of up and downs. Like when you're going onto the mountain for a view, a perfect view, you must definitely go through some quite challenging road, and you definitely need to have a very high driving skills for you to go up to the mountain. So along the journey, you will definitely meet a lot of challenges, a lot of obstacles, like the example that we shared in last episode, the Taiwan journey.
Yeah.
Yes, that can be a very good example for you. So if you think that these three important points are essential for your life, then we strongly encourage you to listen to it if you haven't done so.
Yes, so today we will continue on the mindset that is talked about in this book. And although this is a finance book, but we strongly feel that whatever advice that is given in the book, it can be applied to all of our life's journeys.
Yes, because if you want to be a millionaire, first of all, you need to have a millionaire mindset because the universe will give only the things that match to your identity.
Yeah, so let us move on to the next mindset that was shared in the book.
First of all, we have everything has a price, but not all prices appear on labels.
Yeah, so in terms of this, right, when it comes to investing, not all of us want our stock that we bought to go up, right, in price.
Definitely, who
So,
will
so
want
we
to
could,
lose?
yeah, so we could get the profit. But here's the reality. Just now we shared that we don't want to be purely optimistic, but be sensibly optimistic. This applies in the stock market in a sense that not every stock price, it goes up and it will come down. There is no one stock that will always go one straight line up every single day, every single second. But most people, what they are trying to do is that they try to catch the uptrend. They want the ups, then they are trying to like sell at the top and wait for a pullback, wait for the price to go down, then they enter again, and then they catch the next uptrend. You know, that is, I would say it is impossible to do that in the long run.
I think it's kind of hard because you won't know which is the highest point, so to the lowest point.
Yeah. So in terms of this, right, some people after they have, let's say they bought the stock at like $1, and then after the stock price goes up to 150, they think that there might be a small pullback or crash coming in, so they sell off at a 50% gain. So this is like pretty lucrative profit already, right?
Yep.
So they waited for the pullback, but what happened was that there was a short stock price decrease maybe from 150 go to 140, then it shoot back up to $2 to $3 per share.
Wow.
And then the person didn't manage to get in again. And then he actually lost like the potential upside, like 200%, 300% of the upside, just because he wants to stay away from that 10% or 20% of the pullback.
Sounds so much like me last time for my SoFi stock.
Yeah, so this is the price that is not on the label. Yeah, so you actually miss the potential of that stock. So that is actually what you are paying to the market. So instead, what happened is that the right way to do is that you need to embrace the market volatility. So if you want to get like 300% gain, then you have to endure maybe 30-40% of the temporary pullback in order for you to get the results.
Absolutely. If you don't dare to take the risk, then you do not deserve the reward as well.
Yes. So maybe you have got another example that is like not from the stock market point of view, but can be applied to our real life.
So I believe our audience may not be involved in the stock market. But this example, right, I'm sure every one of us will encounter this, which is getting freebies. Getting freebies is the most exciting thing that can happen in our daily life, no matter you're in school or you're working adult. Then maybe in school there will be some career fair or some study fair that giveaways all the stationaries or any gift to attract you to sign up with them, right? But then if you are in a company or in an organization, then the free things might be during Christmas, they have a lot of celebrations or any other occasion, they give away those token of appreciation for you. Then I would say, although these freebies it looks free, right? They told you don't need to pay for anything, just come and take it.
Yeah, and when we get freebies, we feel happier than we were to buy the things ourselves.
Yes, for example, a water bottle. If you get it for free, you definitely treat it like a treasure that you got. But if you need to pay for maybe $5 to get a water bottle, you feel like it is not so worthy.
Yeah, this affects our psychology.
Yes, although the bottle quality is the same,
Mm.
then I would say, although it looks free, but behind the scene, you need to pay a lot. Not
Mhm.
in monetary form, but in terms of your time, energy, and the brain power you need to think, how do you going to settle the stuff after you got them?
Yeah,
So it might seem very confusing, but let's say you got a bag of freebies. Inside are all, let's say, stationeries, pens, A4 papers, or pencil case, everything. Then we'll bring home, then you realize that you don't actually need this stuff because you already have a lot at your house. Then the next thing you have to think is where are you going to put them?
like how are you going to store them
Mm-hmm.
at your places? And you'll find that the places that you have in your house is full.
Yes, someone once said the most pricey things are those which are free.
Yeah, I actually thought of another example because my mother, right, she loves to watch like Facebook Live
Uh-huh.
videos. They are selling some stuff, right?
Mm,
And then they are saying that, okay, so once you share this live to maybe 3 to 5 friends, tag them out, then you get this free gift whatsoever. Then those audience, they will crack their brain to think of like who should they tag their
mm,
friend, then they spend the amount of energy and time to go and repost, share the live.
mm-hmm,
But the freebie is only worth just a few dollars.
mm.
So it is actually not worth the time and energy and brain power. And when you share that live to your friend, maybe your friend don't like it at all. So maybe the relationship is broken.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, so that is the kind of the price that you pay when it doesn't come into monetary form.
So I think the thing that come in monetary form is the cheapest thing.
Yeah,
Definitely, because money is the easiest thing to get, but time and energy is the most precious thing that we have on this world.
definitely. So next time when you are getting something that looks free,
Mm-hmm.
think twice. Is it really free or not?
Yes, so after that, I keep reminding myself if I don't need the thing at all, I just don't get it.
Hmm.
Or before, let's say, okay, before I know these freebies, I'm going to buy a pen. I
Mhm.
will just go to buy it no matter it's free or I need to pay because I really need the pen for my exam.
Yeah, so that pen is the value that you want to get from it.
Yes. So it is really needed. So if it's a freebie, then definitely I will appreciate it because I don't need to pay for anything to get a pen.
Mm.
However, if I don't need a test bed, I'm not going to buy it anyway. But then suddenly someone give me a test bed for free, I will just reject it now because I don't need it.
Mm.
So why don't they give it to somebody else who need it more?
Yeah, it doesn't add value to you, but it may add value to the others.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so let us move on to the next part. Well, do you believe in luck when it comes to being successful on certain things?
I would say yes because, for example, let's say exam.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe because we need to draw a lot for the question. Everyone will get different question for the exam for the lab test.
Mm-hmm.
Then I will just draw whatever I can and then I pick out the easiest one. They'll be like, oh my God, I'm so lucky. But somebody say, oh no, I have a bad luck because the question that she got was the toughest.
Yes, so probably from the other point of view, you said, the question that you got is easy to you.
Mm,
Probably it's because maybe you have revised
I
that
have
topic
prepared.
itself. Yeah, you are prepared, or you have just studied every single thing in the syllabus, so everything looks easy to you.
Yes.
Yeah. So the thing is, when it comes to investing or finance or anything in life, people they tend to look at what is the outcome. Then they use some explanations to explain the outcome, the
Mm-hmm.
behavior, and they will either consider it to be either be lucky or it is because they've prepared well, they've done the risk management and so on.
I think Bitcoin is an example because few weeks ago, Bitcoin just hit its $100,000 for the first time in forever.
Yeah, it's all-time high.
Yes, so everyone was so happy, but I don't own any Bitcoin, so I was like, why like this? And then days afterwards, it dropped down. You know what's the price roughly?
I think it dropped to about 90 to $92,000.
But before that, it was like 94,000.
Uh-huh.
So that time, I think, okay, it's pretty low. So it's time for me to enter the market so that when it hits 100,000 again, I will try to gain something.
Yeah.
So I bought at 94,000.
Okay.
And then yesterday morning, I remember it shared to me that it's time to buy more Bitcoins because it hits 92,000.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit.
So you felt that you were unlucky because you bought at a higher price.
Yes, yesterday actually I was rushing to work, so I didn't manage to buy at 92,000 yen. If not, I would definitely try to add more. But then after work, it went up to 94,000 again. So like,
So you feel like you missed the chance.
yes, kind of speechless to be honest.
Okay, so from the example, right, I can sense a few things. So initially, at the beginning, you said that when Bitcoin went up to 100,000, but you didn't buy any right before this.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe you think that, wow, the others are so lucky they bought at so early price, then you didn't catch the wave, you are so unlucky.
Yes.
But is it really the case? Or is it because maybe the others they've done very good research about Bitcoin, they understand the potential of Bitcoin, so they managed to get it at a lower price, whereby for some people they didn't know so much about Bitcoin. There's no right or wrong, just that the one's awareness, the knowledge is different, right? So maybe for someone who didn't know too much about Bitcoin, so they didn't catch the wave. So I think that is reasonable because it is not in your radar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, right, when it comes to whether you are lucky or not, or is it the risk or analysis that you have done, it is actually not so much of the point. So what I think is there's no need to point down to the root cause, whether it is due to luck or risk. I think in the end, right, what we can do is we just make the decision, the best decision that we can make at the point of time with the information that we have. And then we don't want to be regretful for the decisions that we make. So that is the best decision. And then you just look forward and be prepared for the uncertainty that will follow next.
I totally agree with you because we won't know the decision that we made like years later. Will we feel that it's lucky or unlucky? So instead of thinking so much at the moment and miss the opportunity, why don't, if you think the opportunity is good for us at the current moment, why don't we just embrace it, take it, and then we just focusing on every step we take. So don't think about too much. Just focus on your current moment, do the best decision for yourself. And as what you have mentioned just now, most importantly, don't regret.
100%.
Yep. So I think this can also lead to the third point, which is every job looks easy when you're not the one who doing it. This is very funny one because of course we say you see those people, they are so easy their work that, for example, the staff in a bubble tea shop. They're so easy, right? They just need to prepare the drinks for the customers, just try to take order, and then just serve the customer will do. But behind, we won't know what have the experience.
Yeah, and then maybe the training they've gone through, it is very tedious.
Yes, and in front of us, they look very busy. They just take maybe the customer or the milk tea with boba. So the staff just take the boba, put inside the cup, and then try to refill the tea, shake it, and then seal it, and serve it to the customer. These are all the steps we have seen in front of us. But behind that, maybe the shop opens at maybe 10 o'clock in the morning, but they need to prepare from 7 o'clock in the morning. So we won't know what's behind.
True. And the other thing is because I scroll on X every day, and then the most famous person on X is Elon Musk, right?
Of
And then
course.
he is the CEO of Tesla. And what happened is that Tesla is a public company, and then there are many announcements saying that this is a strategic move of the company to do this and that. Then there will be a lot of other influencers. They just tag Elon Musk and say, no, you shouldn't do this. You should do this and that.
A lot of criticism.
Yeah. And then I was like, he is the CEO of Tesla and he's the most richest person in the world. And then does he need your advice? Or do you have that kind of knowledge to teach him what to do?
Definitely no. Because we can only see one thing. So because everything, as we mentioned in earlier episodes, one thing is related to the next, and the next is related to the next one. So everything is connected.
Yeah.
So when you give one advice to Elon Musk, then may affect the next thing.
Yeah.
So when Elon Musk made his decision, he needs to take everything into his consideration, not just look at one thing, make one single decision, and look at another thing, look at another decision, right? So he need to make one decision that can benefit as many things as possible. So for us, we have no idea what is he thinking right now. So it's very difficult for us to give him an advice.
Yeah, and I think the most important difference between him and normal people is the horizon. Because he has got so many other companies from different industries, and then he can connect the dots between all these things and come up with the best strategy, the best action that he can do.
But we don't have.
Yeah, but for normal people, we just know Tesla as a company and whatever we think, just Tesla. But maybe he thinks about SpaceX, maybe he thinks about Starlink, for instance.
That's very powerful of him. And feel like he's definitely not easy.
Yeah, and when it comes to job, right? I think you have got your example in nursing, right?
Of course.
You want to share?
Yes. So what happened is that everyone thinks being a nurse is very easy. We just need to serve medication. We need to help patients to change their diaper, serve them tea or coffee. So would you like tea or coffee? So before I joined nursing, I thought about this also. That's why I joined nursing. Okay, it's kind of like an easy work, and I can spend more time to do some education for my patient, teach them how to take care of themselves at home when we are not around. But then after that, I joined nursing. So I have experienced many time of internship in different hospital, in different department, then I feel like being a nurse is definitely not easy because other than the basic job role about the nurse, we need to serve medication, do patient education, change patient, serve tea or coffee or Milo. But behind that, we need to do a lot of admin work. It's definitely not easy because your supervisors, I won't call them leaders, but supervisors, they will just assign you with a lot of admin work that a nurse don't actually need to do that. They can just simply hire another person to focus on all the admin work, but they want nurses to do. So you have no right to say no because you're the one who receives the salary. So sometimes it's quite speechless, but you still need to do that. And for example, we do have some spot check on the cleanness of the working space.
What?
Yes, like we need to ensure all the things, let's say the chair for patient, the working desk, everything is very clean. So talk about cleaners, we will think about cleaner, right? Cleaner will be the one who clean the chair.
That is the logical one, right? Cleaner, the job of cleaner is to clean, right? It is not the nurse's job.
And the rubbish. But in real life, nurses need to do all this.
It's crazy.
Yes, I was so shocked because I remember my nurse told me, help him to clean the chair and to throw the rubbish.
Mhm.
I feel like, isn't it the work of cleaner? I'm here to be a nurse to take care of my patient. But they say because they do not have enough cleaners, so nurses have to do this. I feel like kind of speechless because they just want to save the manpower and save their money also. So they want us nurses to receive those, maybe let's say $3,000 per month that do the job that covered by different roles.
I think on the other hand, I think the hospital management has done a poor job.
Mhm.
They think that wow, nurses can just clean the rubbish, can just do this and that the cleaner can do, right? They didn't know that essentially they are paying more for the nurses to do. If they were to hire just a cleaner, it would be like one third cheaper than the nurse doing that thing. And then the
Mhm.
nurse can use the time to go and take care more of the patients, give more value to the patients.
We are not saying that a cleaner only deserve one third of the salary,
Mhm.
but we are saying that we should have a clearer allocation of work so everyone can just focus on their basic responsibilities and try to give the highest quality of the work
Agree.
instead of like one person do everything, but everything doesn't have a good quality. So while other people see nurses as a very easy job, but when you really become a nurse, it is definitely not easy.
So from your point of view, nurses are not easy. But when it comes to investing, things looks easy, but it is actually not.
Yes, before I actually invest in stock market, right?
Uh-huh.
I feel like okay, investing is this easy. You just make sure you buy at the lowest point and then wait until it goes up, then you sell it off, then you can get profit. It's that easy, right? Because buy at the lowest, sell at the highest is the basic concept of investing. But does it really this easy, Daniel?
Or other people, they look at this like S&P 500. This
Mhm.
this advice is given to most people. You just hold the S&P 500, it will go up 8 to 9% a year. You just hold it for like 10, 20 years. You can just beat the inflation.
Mhm.
But is that really easy? When you are buying the S&P 500, the ETF, then it is not going up every day. It will go down. So during the down days, would you doubt yourself? If you don't have enough conviction or knowledge to keep you holding on, it is going to affect your emotion every day.
I heard somebody, because of the stock that they bought, right, going down lower than their entry price, then they'll feel so stressed that cannot sleep at night.
Yeah, so that is definitely not an easy job to do when
It
it comes to
is
investing.
for those people as stupid because they
Yeah,
don't understand it
yeah, it
enough.
actually requires hard work. You need the hard work, you need the effort to do research,
Mm,
to understand what you are buying into
of course.
in order to be successful in investing.
Because if you blindly buy the stocks, it is called gamble,
Mm.
not invest. So, in order to really invest in one company, of course, we need to do some fundamental analysis to make sure we know what we are doing.
Mm.
So, I think that's the most important point in investing. So, if you don't even care about the company, the financials of the company, then why do you invest?
Yes, absolutely.
And we, both of us as entrepreneurs, a lot of people might think entrepreneurs are very easy.
Because
Like,
you can just sleep until whatever time,
yeah,
just wake up and then work
yes,
time.
being a part of an organization, you need to wake up on time
Mm.
and go to work on time. And then you have allocated lunch time. You need to attend this or that meetings. You need to go social with friends, your colleagues, everyone.
Yeah, and then the annual leave is not decided by yourself.
You
It's
need
upon approval from
you
the
need to
supervisor.
apply first, then it is approved or not, it depends on your
Yeah,
supervisor. But being an entrepreneur, I would say you have more freedom, but you're definitely not easy also.
you
You may
get
be maybe more difficult than a person who work in an
yeah,
organization.
because it comes with more responsibilities. When you are an entrepreneur, now the company is in your hand. And if you have employees,
Mhm.
their lives is in your hand.
Yes.
It is not like when you are working for someone else. If you don't like the job, you just quit, then you just find another job. But when you are the entrepreneur, the boss of the company, if the company dies, you and your fellow co-workers, you all die together.
So, as an entrepreneur, you don't only take care of yourself, but also the people who work with you also. You need to make the best decision for everyone, not just about yourself. Like when others are having holidays, but we right now are working together because we just try to like do everything that we can to make sure Empower Liion works very well. The operation behind is definitely not easy, and you think we just record the podcast and show everything to someone else to do, but no, we need to do all the editing and we need to write the plan by ourselves, like what shall we tell the audience. It's all come from us, no one will help us.
So the hard part, it all comes from behind.
Yes, I remember you told me last time about your dad during the COVID period.
What happened was that my dad has a physical business that has been operating for like more than 20 years. It is considered a traditional business, so it was not online. So during the COVID hit, physical business, they all closed down.
Because lockdown, then we cannot go anywhere
Yeah,
else.
so there were zero revenue, but all the expenses you have to keep paying. So my dad has got more than 70 plus employees in the company with zero revenue at the point of time. That was maybe one of the hardest moment in his life. But he said that he don't want to fire any single one of the employees in his company, and he will make the company survive through this pandemic.
Then your dad actually did it.
Yes. So what happened was that there were other co-founders in the company. Then they tried hard for the first time ever. They tried to just transition a physical traditional business into the online space, and then it succeeded.
That's not easy. So I feel like your dad is a very good role model for all of us because we see how the business went through from up to down, then go up again.
Yeah. So from the story that I tell, it seems easy, but it is definitely.
Yes, the person must go through a lot of sleepless night thinking, how can you pay the employees?
Yeah.
Because you are the one paying and all of your employees are waiting for your salary to support their daily expenses. So all the responsibilities are on you, on your shoulder.
That's true. And throughout these two episodes, we have shared different mindsets that's covered in this book. And we think these are really the most powerful ones that you should apply in your life.
Yes, even you are not a person really care about the financials, or you are not even a leader or whoever, you're a very important person in your company. But I think as an individual, you should listen to it because you are the master of your own life. You definitely need to do a lot of decision in your life. So I think these concepts that we have shared earlier will be so important to you to help you to make a better decision for yourself.
And just now you mentioned that some of the audience, they are not interested in finances or they are not leader. If you are like this, right, I would want to tell you, please at least try to be like this, or at least get involved in manage your finances better, get to know more, or at least step up in some leadership role, even for your own. Because if you just try to be a follower in your life, it doesn't end well.
Yes, and do not forget, if you are wondering whether to stay in your current job or to move on to something new, head over to www.empowerlion.com/s and take our stay or slay quiz. It is a simple way to figure out if it is time to stay put or make a big change in your career.
In the next episode, we are going to dive into the practical strategies shared in this book. So there are ways that you can apply this mindset shifts and make smart financial decisions over the long term.
Once again, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the Future Builder podcast by Empower Liion. And we will see you next time. Stay tuned. Bye.